welcome to this week's edition of Aggie News. I am Deja Garner.
And I'm Kayla Hare.
Another historical moment being added to the books for North Carolina A&T. Chancellor Harold Martin made a huge announcement on September 22nd, 2023. Executive producer Gabriel Woodard has a little bit more.
My name is Harold Martin. I'm Chancellor here at North Carolina A&T State University.
Chancellor Harold L. Martin Sr., a name known and beloved by those not only in the North Carolina A&T community, but across the country. Currently the longest-serving chancellor in the University of North Carolina school system and among the nation's 107 historically black colleges and universities. Martin has had a highly impactful 14-year tenure during which North Carolina A&T has become an innovative research institution and the nation's leading producer of black STEM graduates. Announced on September 22, 2023, Martin will retire at the end of the 2023-2024 academic school year. In a campus-wide email, Martin expressed gratitude to his colleagues, alumni, and supporters for their enthusiastic participation in A&T's rapid growth over the past 14 years. While Chancellor Martin's presence will surely be missed, his legacy and impact on the A&T community will never be forgotten. Gabriel Woodard, Aggie News.
The latest guest for the Chancellor Speaker Series was award-winning actress Kerry Washington. She spoke to Aggies in Harrison Auditorium on September 21st with a conversation titled Finding My Own. Topics like finding one's voice, purpose, and peace were all discussed. Reporter Mercy Secor has more about the impact of her visit.
Finding yourself, finding your passion, defining your future.
Last week, Thursday, Kerry Washington spoke at Harrison Auditorium for the Chancellor Speaker Series. An eager crowd filled with Aggies and the public waited outside of Harrison just an hour before the doors opened. The sold-out event brought in a large audience of A&T students and alumni. I spoke with Chancellor Martin about the event and speaker series, and he emphasized its impact on the A&T community.
We are delighted that our students and alums and members of the community are also driven by the excitement of these events as well as part of the Chancellor Speaker Series.
Crosby alumna Danya Backus was the moderator for the night. She had an engaging conversation with Washington about not giving away your power and remembering how much you matter, which sparked the interest of students. At the end of the conversation, students were able to ask questions of their own. Washington even gave Aggie's exclusive early access to her new book, Thicker Than Water. Students received a copy along with a satchel and cup embossed with the A&T logo on their way out. As the night came to an end, students commented on what they gathered from the event.
Happiness is not necessarily a state, but it's a practice. I think that was like the most important quote I got out of the night. I thought it was so beautiful.
I'm Mercy Secor for Aggie News. And as always,
The Student Government Association had their annual cookout, Aggie Family Reunion, on last Friday at the Village Quad. Check out more from Tamia Parker.
SGA's annual cookout always brings an endless line, and this year's was no different, with the line for food being backed up all the way to McNeil Hall. While Aggies came to eat, they also came to dance and meet the members of UGMA administration. The Executive Chief of Staff, Amina Bland, speaks more on what it takes to plan an event like this and the interactive bingo game they've decided to incorporate this year.
Can you talk about what it takes to plan an event like this?
Yeah, so the SGA Cookout has been going on for multiple years, so I feel like over the years the planning has been kind of easier because we kind of do the same thing every single year. But we've been planning this since the summertime, and it really just takes teamwork, the e-board coming together and thinking about what is the best way to get the students engaged with SGA as a whole, and so that they can know us and make sure that they know who to come to when they have any concerns within the campus. So this year, to do that, we came up with this bingo game that you see everybody with. Basically, it's a bingo card with all of the different SGA positions, so they're supposed to go up and talk to them, figure out what their position is, what their name is, and how they can help them throughout the year and things like that. So with that incentive, we'll have the Kona Ice for them. And yeah, we just wanted to make sure it was a good time so people know who is in SGA and just have a good time for everybody.
The Family Reunion Cookout is a special event for students to get outside, have fun, and spend time with their fellow Aggies. Devin Watkins, junior business management student, describes the event to people who don't attend North Carolina A&T.
How would you describe SGA's annual cookout to people who are not Aggies?
I would describe the cookout as basically a big family reunion with all of us to network with each other, to build bonds and create union. So yeah, it was kind of unity.
For Aggie News, I'm Tamia Parker.
Last night, our student chapter of the National Association of Black Journalists presented their second-year program of the year. The conversation of the night consisted of What I Wish I Knew. JOMC alum returned to give wise words of advice to current students, encouraging them to take advantage of every opportunity given. A&T Police Department is taking the intensity of providing safety a little higher. The University Police Department has introduced drone surveillance, and reporter Trinity Rogers has more about what that looks like for the campus and the community.
Security is a constant concern within the student body at North Carolina A&T State University. Recently, the university funded an entire new system that is sure to increase awareness around campus. I had the opportunity to interview the Chief of Police, Jermaine Cherry, and the Emergency Management Director, Travis Ullman. Here's what they had to say.
The primary drone that we have is a DJI Matrice 30. It's a public safety specialized drone. It's got enhanced camera capabilities that allow for thermal imaging and night vision. It's got distance measuring, it has picture and video capabilities, and also allows us to do object tracking.
We then asked Zion Disrow, a fellow student, how he felt on the matter of campus security.
And they're doing a good job. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job, but they can do a better job just to make, kids who's coming from out of town and things like that, make them feel a bit more safer.
Director Ullman hears the concerns of Zion and states that
we as a team, because we know that it's not just us on this campus that keeps it safe, but it's us with the campus community. And so we always try to strive that we're not in it by ourselves.
This is Trinity Rogers with Aggie News. Back to you.
Just after 2 college campus shootings and a personal loss, rapper Quavo and Vice President Kamala Harris spent time together as they discussed changes to gun control laws being enforced. Here is Haley Pender with more.
In 2022, over 48,000 people died of gunshot wounds according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Included in that count is the Migos rapper Takeoff after an argument turned fatal outside of a Houston bowling alley last November. In response, the rapper's bandmate and uncle, Quavo, has been advocating for gun violence reform. His latest and most discussed stop has been in Washington, D.C. with the vice president. He had this to say about his visit. I feel like after going to the White House, I need resources, he told the Associated Press. I don't think no one else is in our stature that is connected. In order for things to change, we need resources, he repeated. Quavo's visit comes after shootings took place at 2 UNC system schools 2 days apart in August, one in front of the Student Center at North Carolina A&T and one at UNC Chapel Hill and Caudill Laboratories. Chapel Hill's incident received way more coverage than the shooting that occurred at A&T.
I took some time earlier today to speak with a student who was present at the A&T shooting. This is what he had to say.
But I feel like it's more so like that we're HBCU and that they're PWI, so it's kind of like they're getting more coverage because it's not, to them, it's something that's very rare, and when it's considered to us, it's just like another day.
Benz went on to express that he doesn't feel that the rapper's presence will evoke change in our society. But I also had the opportunity to speak with a UNC student who had a more optimistic outlook after hearing about Quavo's visit.
I don't see why they couldn't have an impact. They're, a person who's higher up in society, so their voice has a deeper meaning than probably just an average, citizen like you or me who are just living our lives. But I think a celebrity definitely is important.
Discussions of gun reform have only become more prevalent as we inch closer to the 2024 presidential election. Only time will tell if our nation will ever address this growing epidemic. Haley Pender, Aggie News.
Shockingly short hearing of just 5 minutes allowed a man free after being accused of murdering a 16-year-old black male. Anchor and reporter Deja Gardner has more.
84-year-old white homeowner pleads not guilty after shooting 16-year-old black male who mistakenly rang the wrong doorbell. On April 16th in Kansas, Missouri, 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was shot in the head and arm after trying to pick up his younger siblings and mistakenly rang the wrong doorbell. Yarl states that he was supposed to go to Northeast 115 Terrace, but he mistakenly went to Northeast 115 Street, where white homeowner lived. 84-year-old Andrew Lester states that he acted in self-defense, as he thought teen was trying to break into his home. Lester was taken into custody that day, but returned home hours later. Jarl has survived the shooting, but has been left with some permanent brain injuries. Jarl's mother, Cleo Nagby, believes justice still needs to be served. Lester pleads not guilty after only a 5-minute hearing in Clay County, Missouri on September 20th, and if found guilty, Lester faces a maximum sentence of life in prison on the first-degree assault charge and 3 to 15 years on criminal connection with shooting on April 16th. Lester's trial date has been set for October 7th, 2024, and will remain on bond during trial. Deja Garner, Aggie News.
The Writers Guild and Hollywood Studios have reached a new deal officially ending the strike Wednesday, September 27, 2023. Here is Taylor Brown with more.
Yes, it has been 146 intense days of no work, no pay, picketing, and persistence. The Writers Guild of America and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers met on Sunday, September 24th, for new negotiations. The deliberation, boards and councils voted unanimously to recommend the agreement officially ending the strike. This means that writers are able to go back to writing while the process of confirming the 3-year basic agreement is happening. Writers in the industry, in alliance with actors, had previously expressed their concerns about their pay affecting their livelihoods. When their concerns were ignored and dismissed by the studios and streaming CEOs, 11,500 members of the WGA decided to walk out in May. And then 65,000 actors followed up to join in July.
So imagine that you put your life work into something and you don't even get paid for it, your family can't eat off of it. What's the point?
Although the strike has ended, there are still concerns over the advancement of technology, like asking actors to use their likenesses instead of actually using
the whole point of acting is showing true, real emotion so that the audience can feel it. So if you have AI doing it, it's not real, it's not sincere, it's not genuine.
According to the Screen Actors American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, they are happy for the WGA and are looking forward to doing the same thing for their members as negotiations have yet to occur on that side. I'm Taylor Brown for Aggie News. Now back to you all in the studio.
Thank you for that, Taylor. Hopefully our weather team can write in some sun in our forecast this upcoming week.
Here's Grant with more about what we can expect to see.
Well, I've got some great news for you guys. We can really expect some beautiful weather going into the weekend. I'm meteorologist Grant Coleman, giving you a look at your forecast for the weekend and going into next week. Now, today, beautiful day. Very high level clouds, keeping the temperatures relatively low in the lower 70s or so. Those temperatures kind of get up to 74, 72 today actually, and get down into the upper 50s and lower 60s for this evening. So if you're feeling a bit of a breeze tonight, it's going to get a bit chilly after 10 or 11. The other good thing is, going into the next few days, there is going to be a bit of a temperature increase. Now, even though we will be seeing temperatures in the lower 80s or so going into next week, that rain is going to stay off. So overall, a nice and dry week, especially with some slightly warmer temperatures that will start to go back down going into next weekend. I'm meteorologist Grant Coleman with your weather forecast for the week.
Today, it feels like we're all just coming apart. The strain on us is very real, but so too is our strength. Led by the love of these cities, the triad, our home. Together, we're finding solutions to problems we all share. You've joined in the activism to save lives and feed the hungry, honored and thanked veterans, saluted local heroes, and celebrated diversity, inclusion, and the spirit of excellence. You've elevated women and shined a light on those who the world doesn't often see. You are the thread that holds us together, helping to craft a better tomorrow. And for 70 years, this is where you've stayed connected. WXII 12.
Welcome back from the break. I'm your sports anchor, Ashton Griffith. A 19-year-old junior at Shenandoah University tackled first impressions head-on on Saturday. Haley Van Voores made history by becoming the first female non-kicker player to appear in an NCAA football game. business steward Voorhees ran a play called quarterback hurry where she tackled the opposing team's quarterback. Just after he released the ball, the following day, Shenandoah coach Scott Yoder addressed Voorhees stating yesterday was certainly a huge moment in her path, but her path keeps going. This was an action-packed, high-scoring week for the NFL season, with 6 teams scoring 30 points or more. The Miami Dolphins woke up and chose violence as they put 70 points on the board against the Denver Broncos, which is the most in a game since 2011 when the Saints scored 62. The Dolphins had 3 players go over 100-plus yards, with rookie Devon Achane leading the way with 233 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Superstar receiver Tyreek Hill had 157 receiving yards, as well as running back Raheem Mostert totaling 153 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Dolphins had a chance to break the record for the most points scored in a game with a late field goal attempt in the game, and putting them at 73 points, which would have broken the Washington Redskins score of 72 set in 1966. Head coach Mike Daniels has the Dolphins rolling with a 3-0 record and the most points scored in the young season with 130. Can the Dolphins keep this pace up and keep rolling, or will the team take a step back and settle down? The talk of the NBA offseason was surrounded by Portland Trailblazer superstar Damian Lillard wanting to play for one specific team, the Miami Heat. There were long, intense talks from the NBA world who were expecting Lillard to suit up for the next year. Well, Damian Lillard was traded, but not to the Miami Heat. They were traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. In a 3-team deal, Milwaukee landed the 7-time All-Star guard. Dame Time will join the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo in a quest for a second championship. This weekend, let's support our fellow Aggies as the football team takes on the Norfolk State Spartans, September 30th at 2 p.m. The team took home a win last year with a score of 49-24, so stay tuned to find out what this HBCU matchup will bring. Up next, here's the latest news in entertainment.
Thanks, Ashton. I'm Carolyn Adams with your entertainment today. The Alpha Nu chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated will be hosting a Wild Wild West themed pageant on October 2nd at 7:11 p.m. in Harrison Auditorium. Hurry and get your tickets and enjoy a night in the Wild Wild West. If you're looking for a place to kick back, relax, or feed some of those inner child desires, reporter Deja Williams has more about where you can go in Greensboro to enjoy yourself without traveling too far.
Greensboro is home to some of the most vibrant cultural hubs and hangouts, and I've got the inside scoop on the places that will make your time in Greensboro unforgettable. So whether you're a seasoned Aggie or you're just getting to know the area, stay tuned as I uncover the hidden gems of the city.
What started as a simple joke turned into an idea to bring women-owned businesses together through specialty coffee, event planning, and pop-up shops.
So I think we have a really cool, calm, inviting atmosphere at our coffee shop. It's great for studying, knocking some work out. We have good Wi-Fi, places to charge your devices.
Thrive Coffee Co. offers 20% off on all drinks for all students with a valid student ID, so be sure to check it out. Scuppernong Books is an independent literary bookstore that curates special events that unleash young talent, along with supporting independent authors from North Carolina by promoting an entire section of works ranging from fiction to indie bestsellers. The store itself is more than just a bookstore. Inside is a cozy cafe serving coffee, espresso, beer, and wine.
We also do all kinds of readings and events during the month. And we have an open mic, which is great for people to come in and read their work.
The International Civil Rights Institute and Museum formerly housed the Woolworths, the site of a nonviolent protest in the civil rights movement when the ANT4 first made their mark.
One reason of many that I think A&T students should come to this site is because for all of you who attend A&T, you're really upholding a legacy. We talk about what we call the ANT4. There's a reason they're the ANT4. Those 4 college freshmen knew about their constitutional rights and knew about their ability to belong in any space, no matter who they are. So this site actually holds the original lunch counter and a lot of exhibits that tie into your history as a campus and as a student body.
Deja Williams, Aggie News.
I'm sure Usher had an OMG moment when he found out that he'd be headlining the Super Bowl next year. The Grammy-winning artist will set the Las Vegas stage in February 2024 for the 58th Super Bowl football game. He released a statement on Sunday, September 25th, that expressed his gratitude and excitement about the future performance. He stated, "It's an honor of a lifetime to finally check a Super Bowl performance off my bucket list. I can't wait to bring the world a show unlike anything else they've ever seen from me before." Usher will also be releasing his 9th studio album, Coming Home, the same day he is headlining the halftime show. Talk about big plans for the new year. The city of Atlanta has declared September 22nd as National Summer Walker Day. Because it is the last day of summer, which alludes to Summer's very first album. How cool is that? The R&B artist took to Instagram to express her gratitude for this huge announcement of her own day. The Little Mermaid's Halle Bailey has some rumors roaming around the internet that she is pregnant. She has been in a committed relationship with YouTuber and rapper DDG for over a year now. Fans on social media think she is pregnant due to the baggy clothes and a video on YouTube that has also surfaced, leading to the media thinking Miss Bailey may be expecting. She hasn't addressed the rumors yet, but it may be possible that our Little Mermaid might be having her own little bundle of joy. As the Renaissance World Tour wraps up, Beyoncé made a stop in her hometown, Houston, Texas, for 2 performances. Members of the Beehive speculated that Houston native Megan Thee Stallion would join Beyoncé in this monumental performance after it was reported that the Hot Girl Coach could no longer perform at the Global Citizens Festival, which was scheduled the same day as Houston Night 1. And of course, the Queen Bee could not disappoint her fans. The duo took the stage to perform their Grammy Award-winning single, Savage. Thanks for joining us today. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at NCAT Student News. That's NCAT Student News. See you next week right here on Aggie News. I'm Carolyn Adams, and thanks for watching.